Hello and welcome. I specialize in the systems and strategies that really power modern luxury hotels. You can think of me as your guide to what I call the AI of hospitality, the anticipatory intelligence that creates those truly unforgettable guest experiences. Today, we're going to dive deep into the art of the VIP pre-arrival. We'll break down the masterclass level techniques that transform a simple hotel stay into a flawless, personalized journey.
All right, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with the invisible foundation, all the work that happens before anyone sees anything. Then we'll talk about how to gather and actually use guest intelligence. From there, we'll get into team coordination, personalizing the guest space, and finally, making sure that arrival is absolutely flawless to deliver on what I call the pre-arrival promise.
So let's jump right into our first section, the invisible foundation. And there's a very good reason we call it that. You see, the most critical work in luxury hospitality, it happens completely behind the scenes, long before a guest ever steps foot on the property.
This right here, this is the guiding principle for everything we're about to discuss. It's a simple idea, but it's incredibly powerful. The guest experience isn't built at the check-in desk when they arrive. It's built on a bedrock of meticulous, detailed planning that shapes their entire perception from the very first moment.
So what are we really talking about when we say pre-arrival preparation? You can forget about simple checklists. This is a strategic, behind-the-scenes operation. The key word here is anticipation. It's all about using what you know to foresee a guest's every need and to engineer that perfect first impression for a truly seamless stay.
And this slide really shows you the stakes. It's night and day, right? With precision planning, you create a feeling of recognition and trust from the second they arrive. But with weak preparation, you create problems. One path builds immediate loyalty, the other puts your team into service recovery mode from the get-go.
Which leads us perfectly into our second section, gathering guest intelligence. Look, if preparation is the foundation, then high-quality information is the reinforced concrete it's made from. This is the part of the process where we move from just being reactive to being truly proactive. So, where does all this intelligence come from? Well, it's everywhere. You have hard data from past stays. You get direct requests from a guest's assistant. But critically, you also have observed patterns, those little unstated habits that are pure gold. You know, a guest who always orders a specific kind of green tea after 10 p.m., having it waiting in their room when they have a late arrival. That's not just service, it's a message. It's how you build a complete 360-degree picture of your guest.
And this right here, this is the ultimate goal. Any good hotel can provide what a guest asks for, but a truly exceptional, world-class hotel provides what is needed before the guest even has to ask. That is the leap from just service to genuine hospitality. It's anticipating that long flight and having a light, warm snack ready and waiting for them.
Okay, so this brings us to Section 3, the coordinated action briefing. Now, you can have the best intelligence in the world, but if it just sits in an email or in one department's notes, it's basically useless. The briefing is where all that data gets turned into a unified operational plan for the entire team.
A VIP arrival is never a one-person show. It's more like a symphony of coordination. It requires perfect alignment between the front office, who manages the welcome, housekeeping, who perfects the room, food and beverage, handling those personal tastes, security, ensuring safety, and of course, the concierge, orchestrating the whole experience. The briefing is where the conductor brings them all together.
So, what makes a briefing successful? Well, it really hinges on what I call the 3 C's. First, it has to be clear. No room for ambiguity, just the facts. Second, it has to be calm. Panic is contagious, but a professional tone shows command. And finally, it absolutely has to be coordinated. Everyone must leave that room knowing exactly what they need to do and, just as importantly, when they need to do it. And the contrast here couldn't be more stark. A disciplined briefing clarifies every single detail. It prevents mistakes before they can even happen. A weak briefing, on the other hand, is built on assumptions and ambiguity, and that's a recipe for things to go wrong. Someone assumes the car is confirmed, or assumes housekeeping knows about an allergy. Discipline in the briefing is what ensures flawless execution later. All right, now we get to the fun part. We get to see the results of all our intelligence gathering and coordination. Welcome to Section 4, Personalizing the Guest Space. This is where we translate all that data into a tangible, physical environment that's tailored specifically for the guest. And this goes so far beyond just cleaning the room. We are talking about creating aesthetic harmony.
If you know a guest prefers a cool room, the air conditioning is already set to their ideal temperature before they even walk in. If they prefer soft ambient light, the harsh overhead lights are off and the lamps are on. These subtle touches create an immediate sense of comfort and a feeling that, I'm home. Of course, the personalization continues with food and beverage. This is where you show you've really been paying attention. Having their preferred brand of sparkling water already chilled, or a small plate of their favorite kind of berries on the table. That's a powerful statement. It says, we know you, we remembered you, and we prepared for you. Now, for many VIPs, security and discretion are absolutely paramount. This part of the preparation is all about making sure their movement through the property is seamless and low profile. It means coordinating with their security team, knowing their protocols, and making them feel safe without ever making them feel watched.
All right, this brings us to the final, critical moments of the pre-arrival phase. Section 5, ensuring a flawless arrival. This is the real-time execution, where all of that careful planning comes together in a perfectly timed sequence of events.
Just look at this timeline. This is precision in action. Every single step is deliberate and timed. The final room check, the chauffeur being dispatched, the alert to the front desk, and the senior manager moving into position at the entrance. It's like a ballet. Each movement is planned so that when that car pulls up at exactly 1500, the arrival feels effortless, controlled, and deeply personal.
And finally, we arrive at our last section, which is really the entire point of this whole process, the pre-arrival promise. This is about understanding the ultimate goal, which isn't just about operational smoothness. It's about creating a very specific emotional response in your guest. I really want you to remember this quote, because everything we've talked about, the intelligence, the briefing, the personalization, it all culminates in a nonverbal promise you make to your guest. It's a silent communication that says, we see you, we value, and we are prepared for you. That is the essence of true luxury. And when that promise is fulfilled, this is the result. The guest doesn't just feel checked in. No, they feel recognized as an individual. They feel supported by a competent team. They feel valued because you invested your time and effort before they even arrived. And maybe most importantly, they feel understood. And that, right there, is the pinnacle of hospitality. So I'll leave you with this question. As the future leaders in this industry, you are the ones who are going to be making this promise every single day. Your preparation, your discipline, and your team's coordination will determine the answer. So, what will your guest feel when they arrive?